Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm here to review the match between Milan and Sassuolo that was played tonight at the San Siro. Match valid for round of 16 of the Coppa Italia. Of course, Milan want to make this a priority, the Coppa Italia this season. They want to win it in case that they don't qualify through the league for Europe. So, of course, there's also this secondary option of qualifying for European contention for next season. Milan won the match 2-1, goals coming in from Pazzini and De Jong. Guys, it wasn't the best performances for Milan. Of course, I was expecting something better. Of course, after those games against Sassuolo and Torino last week where we didn't perform well, I was expecting a team more full of grit, a team that was going to come out and really push hard and really penalize or punish Sassuolo for what they did last week to Milan, the San Siro. But it wasn't really like that. And Milan had to leave it until the dying minutes to win the game with a De Jong goal. Of course, Milan need to play better, guys. There's no playmaking. Really, the action is very slow and boring. When Milan needs to create, really, it takes too much time in order to create their actions. And of course, it benefits a team like Sassuolo because it's a team that's usually used to defending. So life is much easier for Sassuolo in that case. And really, Milan had to leave it late, as I mentioned, to win this match and progress to the quarterfinals. Now, of course, there were some particular moments in this match. First of all, Pazzini getting the start over Menez in today's match, of course, because Menez usually plays during the Serie A. And Pazzini needed to give some time, some minutes in his legs today in the Coppa Italia. And he did so very well with that beautiful goal from him. And of course, we also saw Cecchi play from the very first minute. He had a very good game. Unlucky not to score. He had two very good chances, if not three. So really, it really showed that today Cecchi is a guy that could really do well for Milan, and we sure all hope to see that from him more this season. Of course, also Cecchi today was his first actual real match because before that he only played a few minutes against Sassuolo last week. But today really he gave more time. Inzaghi gave him more time, so you could expect Cecchi starting in games now from the very first minute, so that is always a good sign for him. Now, of course, Cecchi was playing. El Shaarawy did something good as well, but my main concern is once again the midfield, where really it's not doing too much of a good job, and I'm particularly speaking about not having that proper playmaker, because we do have De Jong, and that guy is pretty much our playmaker right now. He's sending in the balls. Of course, when Montolivo's not there, he's sending in the passes. So, of course, he's a very good player. Very good player, defensive. He can score goals like we saw today. But we need a real playmaker, guys. That is what we're lacking. So, hopefully, Milan do something this transfer window, because that is what we're lacking indeed. Now, as far as the defense goes, Abbiati was playing in net. Of course, Diego Lopez taking a break there. He came out with some good saves, Abbiati. However, couldn't do anything on that goal since it was a penalty shot. And it was caused by a Zapata that once again really questions himself over starting in games. Of course, he's not the slowest of players. He's actually quite fast. However, really, Zapata needs to improve on certain things. In the first half, he gave away a very cheap foul at the end. It was in the stoppage time, of course, of the first half. He gave away a very stupid foul. And from that set piece, Sassuolo actually scored, but the linesman called it offside. So we were granted with that. And of course, Milan walked into the halftime with a 1-0 lead. Now, in the second half, Zapata actually caused a penalty shot. Now, this was debatable because from my point of view, Zapata was actually fouled first before him fouling the Sassuolo player. However, the referee didn't see it like that, and he gave the penalty shot to Sassuolo, which Sansone successfully converted. And after that, he almost scored an own goal near the end of the match. So, guys, really, Zapata needs to be questioned. He could have those performances that are good. He could have those performances that are actually really bad. So, of course, I don't want to really see him starting in games anymore. More as a secondary option in case someone's injured. But he needs to improve. He needs to be more concentrated, actually. Because that is what's lacking in this team. Concentration. Especially from set pieces. Once again, very, very poor. But altogether, guys, we have to say that this was Milan's first win in 2015. We have to obviously look at the positives as well. We have to say that Milan is progressing to the quarterfinals. Not in the best of ways, but a win is a win. And of course, now they will be facing the winner of Torino versus Lazio. A very tough matchup that will take place in February. So, we'll see what happens with that. As I said, Coppa Italia is one of the primary objectives for Milan this season. We'll see how it's done. But once again today, not the best of showings. Another struggle against Sassuolo, a team that we were supposed to beat right away and not suffer until the end like we did. But once again, a win is a win, and that is what counts. That is it, guys, for the match review. Don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything AC Milan, from match previews, reviews, discussions, fan reactions, transfer rumors, and much more. Everything you need to stay updated with AC Milan, we've got it here on Rossoneri TV. Thank you for watching. This has been Gio signing off, and as usual, Forza Milan.